Yes, people, it's your boy Views, and it's Views Tube. I hope you're good today. We are back with another one, Gangs and Things, and we've been going around the houses, the different cities of the UK. Last one was Wolverhampton. Now we got Coventry. Um, we're coming to the end of the, well, I think we are anyway, of some of the other cities. We'll keep going. There's Australia, the US, and of course, lots in London. So, the content will keep coming. But like I said, we're going to try and hit the other cities and then spin back. But without too much waffling and too much further ado, let me line this up. Boop. You know what I mean? Coventry's Forgotten Gang War. RB7 against or versus C2. Let's go.
Similarly to my last video, in this video we'll be traveling to the West Midlands, more specifically the city of Coventry, which is also a metropolitan borough. Coventry is located around 19 miles southeast of Birmingham, and is in fact the most central city in England. Coventry is actually the second biggest city in the West Midlands behind Birmingham, having a population of around 345,000 residents. This factor then made Coventry the 10th largest city in England as a whole. In a 2023 crime report on Coventry, Coventry was actually ranked as one of the safest cities in the West Midlands. In 2023, the overall crime rate in Coventry was 126 crimes per 1,000 people, which comes in 7% higher than the West Midlands crime rate of 118 crimes per 1,000 people. Even though Coventry was statistically rated as one of the safest cities in the West Midlands, what a lot of people don't know about is the long-running gang beef that has been playing out within the streets of Coventry, leading to the deaths of multiple people, this being the gang war between both RB7 and C2. Now, the RB7 gang is based around the Holbrooks, Kersley Heath, and Radford areas within Coventry. More specifically, the gang takes up the CV6 postcode. RB7 is very closely aligned with another gang based around the CV6 postcode known as 6, with these two gangs having the same rivals and often sharing members. Both the RB7 gang and the 6 gang are also affiliated with another local street gang. This gang is known as F Block and is based around the Foles Hill area, once again being in the CV6 postcode. Prominent rappers from the RB7 gang include Pa Salieu and Realist Jojo, whilst the most well-known
Yeah, I heard of Pa Salieu. Realist Jojo, not so much, but F Block, very original again.
rappers from the 6 gang include Savo, B.6, and Trix. In recent years, these gangs have gotten themselves into a deadly rivalry with 2 street gangs that are based only streets away, these gangs being both C2 and C3. C2 is a large street crew based around the Wood End, Manor Farm, and Henley Green areas of Coventry, all based in and around the CV2 postcode. It's believed that the C2 gang also goes by STK, possibly being an acronym for Shoot to Kill and Stab to Kill. This STK gang actually has territory around CV4 or Canley. However, I'll get into that later in the video. Another gang closely aligned with the C2 gang is that of C3. C3 is a large street gang that is based around the Stoke Aldermore, Willenhall, Binley, and Ernsford area of Coventry. More specifically, however, the CV3 postcode. This C3 gang is closely aligned with C2 and has a rivalry with the RB7 gang and the 6 gang. So for simplicity's sake, the gang war I'll be discussing is that of the RB7 gang and the 6 gang versus C2 and C3. Now, you may be confused as to how teenagers from both areas have come to have a deadly rivalry with one another, resulting in shootings and stabbings becoming a normal occurrence in Coventry. Well, it's believed that the rivalry between RB7 and C2 started around 2016, with it being rumored that the gangs that had a rivalry were that of CV6 and 2 block from CV2. It's also important to note that some C2 and C3 olders repped both P1 and Gridlock, which were older gangs. It's believed, however, that the olders either jumped off road or got locked up, thus leading to the youngers taking over and beginning to
It's usually how it works. Jumped off road, not a lot of people get to jump off road. You're either taken off the road or you're locked up. You know what I'm saying? Some people do jump off the road, but majority don't. And they can't.
Rival RB7, as well as other gangs from the CV6 postcode. It was rumored that young members of RB7 began to have beef with 2 block olders around 2016 and 17, leading to a lot of drug dealers in the CV6 area beginning to rep RB7, which by this point was one of the biggest gangs in the entirety of Coventry, supposedly having around 100 members. Around 2018, however, RB7 gang members linked up with CV6 gang members, who by this point were going by 6, this gang already having beef with C2. Both 6 Trix and RB7 also had beef with gang members from the CV3 postcode, leading to the CV3 gang becoming allied with C2 and creating the C2.
There's just a lot of C2, CVs, BV, like they're not very original. It's very confusing sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
/C3 alliance. Now, originally the beef consisted of young members getting into fistfights with opposing gang members. However, this would all change following the murder of a 16-year-old, turning the
Again, young schoolboys. Do you know what I mean? Recurring themes, stuff that we don't like. You know what I mean?
this gang feud into an all-out war. On the 24th of November 2018, 16-year-old Jaden James, also known as JJ, would be walking with friends in Wood End, which was C2 territory. Whilst he was out with friends, two members of the RB7 gang, known as FK,
Again, jeez Louise.
and Abs armed themselves with knives and drove around C2 territory looking for rivals. The two RB7 gang members noticed JJ and jumped out of the car on him, chasing him on foot for a few minutes. Sadly, however, JJ came to a dead end, although despite his attempts at fleeing his attackers. By this point, however, the two attackers had caught up and stabbed him in the back with a large zombie knife. Both Abs and FK quickly fled the scene, with emergency services being called to the scene. JJ was rushed to hospital, but sadly was pronounced dead days later, leading to
Stabbed in the back as well. Jeez, stabbed in the back. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these things, you know, in terms of the politics and stuff. But
to a murder investigation being launched. Now, it's believed that JJ was not in fact a gang member, but did live in C2 territory and knew.
wow, is that enough now? I keep telling you about affiliations and even mistaken identity, man. Like these things can happen to someone or anyone at any point. It's quite scary when you think of it like that.
To a few people that were involved in the local gangs. Rest in peace, Jaden James, or JJ.
Definitely rest in peace, because if he weren't gang and he just lived in the area, then he weren't on none of this. This is what I keep saying about just jumping out on anybody. Like, know what you're doing. Not to say that it's good. It's never good. But just know what you're doing.
Following his death, members of the C2 and C3 gang would be quick to find out who had killed JJ and looked for retaliation. Days after the shooting, Abs from RB7, who was one of JJ's killers, was shot in the leg, as well as FK, whose mum was shot at by alleged C2.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. No one, all of these things going on, it shouldn't be going on. But again, we're talking about someone that weren't in the gang and someone's mum. Now, does that person's mum live this way? I say this on a lot of these videos. Your kids are not who they are to you when they're outside. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just the facts of it. So he shot at his mum. That was crazy, man.
One of JJ's killers was shot in the leg, as well as FK, whose mum was shot at by alleged C2 or C3 gang members. Both of these incidents were later rapped about in unreleased C2 and C3 songs.
I don't talk about Abs and Madman. I swear got rapped and crashed at. And FK needs to loud up verbal. I swear that his mum got slapped at. And Tyree needs to loud.
Luckily, however, FK's mum was not hit in the shooting.
That's not even something you should be putting in the bars. Like, what's it got to do with the mums and the dads and you know, people that probably don't even know what's going on? Let's be honest. That's mad.
Police also began to investigate the shocking crime, and days following JJ's death, both of his killers were arrested and charged for the murder. In the end, following a 6-week trial, both FK and Abs were found guilty and
So sorry, I know I'm stopping it a lot now. This one isn't as long, it's only about 11 minutes. But again, I'm just trying to highlight, you know what I'm saying? You've gone and done the drill that stabbed him in the back. Was it one stab? Obviously with a zombie knife, that's probably all it took, right? Flee the area. Ooh. You just locked on to doing the drill and not what's going to come after. Then one of these guys actually got shot in the leg, then got sent to prison. Do you know what I'm saying? Then got sent to prison. So do you know what I mean? 2 big L's for that little one thing. Is it worth it?
sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of both 23 years and 17 years. Rest in peace, JJ. Following JJ's tragic death.
That's going to be the one rest in peace that I'm going to say yes, because if he's not gang, then what on earth? Do you know what I'm saying? Just like the mum, even of the gang member. What's going on?
Many people began to pay their tributes to him. In February 2019, Young Tugs released a tribute track to JJ titled Rest in Peace, JJ. This music video was recorded at his memorial and showed hundreds of people remembering him. This song actually gained a lot of attention, currently sitting on around 150,000 views. Rest in peace, Jaden. Now, a lot of get-back attacks happened around this time. However, most of the incidents never reached the news, whilst the beef was getting active on one side of Coventry. On the complete opposite, the beef between the C2 allied gang based around CV4, which also goes by STK, and another gang also based in CV4 known as Tile Hill was heating up, and it would only be a matter of days before someone would be killed as a result of the beef. On the 12th of June 2019, Enroy Ruddock from the STK Canley gang would notice rivals from the Tile Hill gang that had supposedly driven around the Canley area in a car. Upon noticing this, Enroy Ruddock and his associates of the Canley gang set fire to the car driven by the supposed rival Tile Hill members. Luckily, no one was injured. However, a few hours later at around 2 p.m., Enroy Ruddock and other associates of the Canley gang were driving around in a blue van when they noticed two rival Tile Hill members, chasing them into a shop before the Canley members then decided to leave the shop moments later. Enroy Ruddock and the other Canley gang members then noticed 21-year-old Emmanuel Lukenga, who was known as Manny. It's believed that Manny was in that car that was seen circling Canley territory hours earlier before it was set alight. Anyways, upon seeing Manny, the Canley members got back in the blue van, in which they started driving around following him. After a few minutes, Manny was cornered in a garden and was stabbed once in the buttock, severing a vital artery. Manny sadly died on the scene only minutes later. Following this, the
Stabbed in the buttock. One stab. So you can see you've got other people that we've covered it in other videos that literally have the person begging for their life and they get shot in the head. Like, that's a real killer. Yeah. Or people that's had multiple stabs to the neck and the abdomen. They're trying to finish you off. Stab in the buttocks. Obviously you can still get killed that way, even with leg shots, butt shots, whatever. But is that really serious? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, these guys driving around, man, honestly, this is not, well, I'm not saying it's not serious. I'm just saying these man just seem like a joke, to be honest.
attackers are seen fleeing on nearby CCTV, in which you can actually see the knife used to kill Manny in Enroy Ruddock's hand. And only an hour later, Enroy Ruddock made a post on social media, in which he rapped the line,
"Should have seen that away that I quest him, man. I weren't shocked that all of his brethren left him.
I'm sure if you are a UK drill listener, you would be quick to notice that this is a line rapped by Tion Wayne on the popular song Keisha and Becky, featuring Tion Wayne and Russ Millions. Something I've never seen before was that CCTV actually caught Enroy Ruddock recording this Snapchat, this being something further used in court. It's believed that the knife was later recovered by police, leading to the arrests of Enroy Ruddock and the other associates.
Go and do the crime and then film yourselves. I mean, fuck it. I mean, jeez, Louis. I mean, sort this out.
And in the end, Enroy Ruddock was found.
Sideshow Bob, like, you know what I'm saying? State of it, man. Ugh. Is it dirt? Is it facial hair? It's bad, man.
Guilty of murder. Bradley Richardson was found guilty of murder. Matthew Branken was found guilty of murder. And Kyle Kinchin was found guilty of arson. Rest in peace, Emmanuel Lukenga.
He died. The rest of them lost their lives anyway, behind the door.
Or Manny. Now, it's not known if Manny was involved in any street politics, with
Allegedly.
some people claiming he was a civilian and some people saying otherwise. Either way, rest in peace, Manny. It's believed that the death of Manny resulted in a lot of Canley members being arrested, as they were supposedly applying pressure to Tile Hill after Manny's death. Although, like other rivalries in Coventry, this beef isn't as active anymore. A few months following the death of Manny, a young rapper hailing from the RB7 crew, known under the name Pa Salou, began to release music, releasing the track titled Dem a Lie in August 2019. This gaining around 1 million views, just showing the potential that Pa Salou had as a UK rapper. Under 2 months following this, however, Pa Salou would be shot in the head, narrowly dodging death. In October 2019, Pa Salou was shot in the head by alleged rivals. Whilst outside of a pub in Coventry, he sustained wounds to the head.
That's so peak. Obviously, what's the one that he done with Backroad G? Was it My Family? Yeah? Bukutu. Hey, I like that song. I know who Pa Salou is, right? Flipping out. Didn't know that he got wigged like that, though. Mad. And kept his life. Now, some people might say by the grace of God, or yeah, if that's what your kettle of fish is, but now here he is in hospital. Mad, innit?
head and was rushed to hospital along with another man who was hit in the arm. Around 19 pieces of bullet was later recovered from Pa Salu's head. Luckily, however, both men went on to survive the shooting, with Pa Salu taking to social media and writing, "You can't defeat a man with pure energies." He later
He's gonna turn these guys into the new 50 Cent.
talked about the shooting, in which he spoke about getting straight back into music following the shooting, recording the music video to his hit track titled Frontline, only a few weeks following the near-fatal shooting. Sadly, however, the war in Coventry was still continuing, and only 2 months following the release of Pa Salu's breakout track Frontline in March 2020, another man was killed as a supposed retaliation attack. On the 13th of March 2020, two members of the C2 gang, one being a 15-year-old known as Riaz Ahmed, and the other one being a 20-year-old known as Karan Monga, would arm themselves with a shotgun and would be observed.
A 15-year-old and a 20-year-old. Now, it's 5 years different. Some people might say that's not big, but you have to think about the mentality of someone who's 15 and then the so-called mentality of someone who's supposed to be 20. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a bit of a difference there. There should be. There was when I was them ages. Do you know what I'm saying? You're looking at the oldest to try and guide the youngers away, or if they're going to, like I said, if they're going to do anything, they're going to be runners, or you move the food. Even that's bad enough. When they just, like get them on drill, it's just mad to me.
Observed on CCTV driving around Hillfields, which was known to be RB7 territory. It's believed that around this time, Abdul Hassan, who was known as A, or Abs, was walking home. It's believed Abs was associated with the RB7 gang, and even featured in a music video uploaded by an RB7 rapper.
That's what I always tell you as well. Make sure that you're really masked up. Because people watch these things to pick out the people. Them, if they can't get to you, they'll get to this guy, or this guy's gang as well, that guy's gang as well. More people that's gonna get hunted.
Known as Realist Jojo. He was noticed by the 15-year-old C2 member who was driving the car. 20-year-old Karan Monga was sitting in the passenger of the car. He then aimed a shotgun toward Abs, who was walking down Harnell Lane. The shotgun was shot once, with Abs being hit in the back. Both attackers then speeding off in the car following the shooting. Sadly, Abdul was pronounced dead shortly after the murder, with a murder investigation then being launched. However, finding the attackers wasn't going to be difficult for West Midlands police, as both the 15-year-old as well as the 20-year-old were on tag, meaning they had ankle bracelets.
Oh, like I said, I'm not even trying to make jokes. Like, I'm trying to put myself in their position. As the last video said, all it leads to is, death or jail. Basically, there's very few that actually get away with it, and you're already on tag, big man. Both of you're already on tag. The pair, both of them. So whatever this 15, he was driving. The 20-year-old was in the passenger. Oh, this is like Mikel Arteta in version. You can't make this shit up. And they're both on tag. You've heard that, innit? Still doing drillings when they're on license. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, look, the point I'm even trying to make is I try and put myself in their position. If you're getting shot at, people could stab you, try and take your life every time you see them. Imagine how you got to live life. Is get back that important? Do you know what I'm saying? I guess it is. You're going to do crimes when you can be located. It's like bringing your phone, for cell site, and it's like bringing your phone to, like, what are you doing? Like, come on, man. Anyway,
it's tracking them to the street that the murder had occurred. Police also extracted forensic evidence that tied them to the crime scene, thus leading to both arrests occurring 1 day later, which was all caught on a body cam.
1 day later. Like, did they even get a chance to try and chat about it on a song, or put up their strippiness on social media? Do you know what I'm saying?
From one of the officers.
Walk slowly towards me. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking. Turn around. Keep your hands up.
Both Karan Monga and Riaz Ahmed would be charged and found guilty of the murder. And in the end, Riaz was given 18 years, whilst Karan was given 27 years. A third man was then jailed for torching the car used in the murder, with this also being caught on a nearby...
Them thinking they're smart. Like when they're just doing so many other stupid things. Oh, don't get it twisted. There's probably plenty of cases that kind of slip through the net. Do you know what I mean? But 8 times out of 10. So if two cases slip through the net and the people actually get away with it, The minority never makes the rule. I hope you understand that. Do you know what I'm saying? 8 times out of 10, we hear it on these videos. 1 day later, they was caught. Police at the door. You're trying to burn the car like you're thinking smart, but you've got tags on and forensic. I mean, come on, man.
CCTV, which just shows how much surveillance a city like Coventry has.
And that's Coventry. Like, remember, these places are like 300k population, 200, quarter of a milli. Like, I'm checking this shit right now, bro. This ain't even a long video. I just said on one of the videos that London, I think, it's got like an 8 million population. I might be wrong, but I'm gonna check it right flipping now. 8.9 to 9 million people within the Greater London area as of 2023 to 2026. London is the most populous city in the UK. All right, that's why we've got the most CCTV, like ever. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is bonkers, man. You know what I mean? These are like nothing compared to London. London alone, I'm not saying London is more dangerous. I'm just saying there's a lot more going on because there's so many more people here.
In peace, Abs or Abdul. Now, not.
Well, I don't know about that, because if he was involved in the thing, then, but like I said, 50, like young boys, never should young boys be dying or killing people.
Much is known about the beef between RB7 and C2 after his death, with it being thought that the beef somewhat died out following the death of Abs, as members on both sides began to get arrested or just jumped off road. What is known is that some shootings and stabbings did occur following this, but weren't reported, instead being talked about in drill tracks. If you have learned anything from this video, make sure it's to stay out of the streets, as this life only ever leads to jail or death, and nothing positive. If you enjoyed this video,
and that's the message, nothing positive. That is the message, man. That is the message. Hopefully the internet ain't been too bad for you guys. We've got another one down, because that was the short one. I might even film another one today and just have them lined up, ready to go. If you liked it, hit the like for me. You know, subscribe if you don't mind. It is free. Share the video. You know, that could help as well. But until next time, people,